Welcome back. We're back in the garden. We did the garlic the other day on that side, and it's time to deal with this side. I have a big box of potato seeds that I need to pop into the ground. I have a dahlia here, and I have one on either corner at the back there. I'm going to dig up, I can see a couple of potato plants. I'm going to dig them out and then level this out, and we'll get our potatoes in. We'll put the mulch in on top, and that will be done for the bed, for this particular bed. So I have a whole bunch of other plants that need to get into the ground and a whole bunch of harvesting to do. I've harvested a whole bunch of chocos, so we're spending some garden time out here at the moment. We've got rain coming in the next day or so this is the perfect time to get these potatoes out. So I'm going to go for these potatoes first. I did have some sweet potato in here at the front. We may come across something, we might find some. I'm not holding my breath on a big sweet potato harvest. Let's get digging and we'll see what we can find. I can still see some of the passion fruit suckers coming up. So we're just going to have to deal with them as we come across them as well. That is our seed potato. I'm just going to throw that in there. And that potato produced nothing. This is the sucker from the passion fruit. There it is, look at it. Sorry, Ivy. That's what happens when you lie in my garden. Alright. Passion fruit suckers are taking over the garden. I'm not finding too much, so I'm not too worried about giving this a big dig up. I will go and get my broad fork because I can see a lot of the suckers are quite big, but we might end up pulling a few suckers out. That looks like a dahlia, but the bulb doesn't. I think it is though. I don't know how it's ended up in the middle of the garden. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my dahlia tubers up, and I'm going to put probably one in the middle here instead of on the edge. I'm finding that the ones on the edges are blocking my footpaths. So either I put two in, actually I might do two, put two in there and then split that one and put two in there as well. So something's had a nibble, and I've got a problem in the garden here. So it's either rats or bandicoots. One or the other is eating this. Hopefully they're not going to get into my potatoes. So I'm going to dig a hole here and one next to it. Stick in there so I can remember. I'll take this one. That will do for now. Just so I know where it is when I start planting my potatoes. So I might just put another one in here. Alright, let's stick that one in there. Just for future reference, we have 4 dahlias at the end of this bed. Potatoes in this section up to the post first, and then that way I can get into there and work my way out. I'm going to plant these quite close together. I like to break the rules, and I'll just get more potato out of the area. I just have to make sure that I'm going to give it some more compost because potatoes will need to be fertilised. And I need to make sure I don't get too close to the dahlias, otherwise when I start digging up the potatoes, I'm going to damage my roots or the tubers. That's smart. Alright, as I was saying before, this is a lot of potatoes in a small area, but I want to make sure that I'm going to get plenty of potatoes out of here. Okay, let's dig this dahlia up. I've got another archway that has to go over this particular area, and I don't want to just got to make sure that I don't come too far into the footpath, because yeah, we've got to put another archway in yet. I just have to make sure that I'm not encroaching on this area here. So we will put probably, I'm going to split this up. This isn't a massive dahlia, so I'm going to split this up and probably slot 3 or 4 in here. Yeah. If I do that, I've got another one over there on that corner. I'll split that one up and then slot it along the edge there as well. Just have to be careful, I've got ranunculus in there. Let's bring you in for a closer look. So you'll have your large clump like this, but if you maneuver it around a bit, you will find some of them are not all joined. So I can wiggle that one out. That one's come apart, that one's come loose. I don't know whether that's going to equate to anything, but here I can see, just got to be very careful. Alright, that's just decided that it's going to come off that way. Now I could break this into multiple plants, which I might do yet. Oh, there's another one that's come apart. That one there can probably come out like that. So yeah, you just have to be careful and just look where it kind of looks like it wants to come apart. I could probably snip this in half and go down there, bring it around through there and take that off, but I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that as one piece, and I'm going to put that one in as another, and actually I put this big one in here like that and that. So I'm going to put this big one in here like that, and that one in there. I do have a little bulb of something coming up there as well. So now we've ended up with a few more bulbs and a little bit of loose pieces. I don't know whether anything's going to come of these. Apparently you're supposed to have an eye. Yeah, some of these I don't see an eye on them, but that doesn't mean that there isn't one there. So that one's probably going to be alright. That one's probably going to be alright. What we'll do is they'll either become compost or we'll find a spot for them down in the food forest. Alright, let's dig a hole for these 3 and then we'll lay the rest of the potatoes out. Actually, maybe I won't, because I may have to. I'm just going to leave them there. We'll lay the potatoes out. This is a different variety. This one, alright, the first variety was Nicola, and this one is Kennebec potatoes. Alright, let's go and get the other bag. Alright, this bag, these are White Star, and I've got more here than we're going to be able to fit in here, so I'll have to find somewhere else for these to go. Let's see how many we can get in here. That's it. I don't want to put any more close there, and that is it. So we'll put those. Find another spot for those. Okay, that was a hard part. Easy part, just dig a little hole and slip them in. potatoes are done. Let's get a hole dug for these dahlias. Put those away and then we'll get some mulch put down. Alright, let's get a nice thick layer of mulch put down on this. That is it for the day, or for now anyway. I've got other stuff to do. I've got the mulch down nice and thick. We're going to wait for a couple of days. The rain's coming. Once the rain comes, what we're going to do is lay some more mulch down over the top of it. I want a nice thick layer. Now I also wanted to go and get my motion censored solar powered lights, and I'm going to put them around here because I'm pretty sure we've got little animals coming in and I really don't want them digging this up. So I'll go and get that now. Right, so these are motion censored and I'm hoping that if anything tries to come in here, it will set it off and they'll get scared. That's the plan anyway. So I'm going to tidy up and I might go over to the other side. I've got onions that I want to plant. Actually, I've got onions that I want to plant, but I still have a few more potatoes. They've got to go down into the other section in garden number 1. Actually, I have a dahlia there that I want to dig up. I don't know what that is. I'll leave it. I want to dig that dahlia up. I might just plant it further into that garden bed there and then split it and put one in this section. Excuse me, Lexi. Beep, beep. And I've got sweet potato vines in here. I might just dig them up and see if there's any sweet potatoes in here. Tidy this garden up, I think. Got strawberries along here as well, so I might just give them a little dig up and I'll replant them afterwards. This was not on the list to do. I don't know why I'm doing it. Right, I'm not going to dig any further in there. Oh look, there's a potato in there. So I'm going to leave that there, that's wild lettuce, and I'm just going to give this a quick dig around in here. There was not much sweet potato in there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my big dahlia there. I'm going to split that, probably plant it in here and put the ground cover down as strawberries. Wondering whether to put some asparagus. I have asparagus that it's got to be planted. I might put some in here as well. Yeah, I might do that. I might just whack some asparagus in here with the strawberries. Use that as ground cover. A couple of dahlias, split those up and put a couple in here randomly. So we've got some flowers in here. Asparagus will come through and strawberries will be the ground cover. Sounds like a plan. Not the plan that I was working with today, but I like to jump around. I'm going to go and get my asparagus. So asparagus and strawberries are really a good companion. We're going to use the strawberry as the ground cover and then the asparagus will pop straight up through. Let's break this dahlia apart first. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to end up doing some damage here, I can tell. This is so jammed together. I'm not going to be able to. I mean, I could just plant. No, I want to pull it apart. I was going to say I could just plant the whole thing back in the ground, but I really wouldn't mind separating it and getting extra plants out of it. I might just take it up to the house, give it a hose, see if I can knock some of this dirt out, and then that way I might be able to get some wiggle room in here. That's what's probably going to be needed, is just to knock some of this dirt out. I'll be back in a minute. Let's see how we're going to go about breaking this apart. Oh boy, I think we're going to lose a couple of fingers here, but there's no easy way to do this, so we're just going to pull. Ooh, that didn't do any damage. That was pretty good. All right, let's try another one. I've got two choices. I keep going or I just plant them as two separate ones. I want to get more out of this. Oh, yeah, there's another. There's a nice little one. Oh, perfect. I can still break that apart, cut it down there, and I'll have some good ones in there. Okay, nice. And I'm going to leave that as one. I can still cut that in several pieces, but no, that's going to be a good size. Alright, so that didn't do too much damage. Now this one, I'm My other hand is very much tight. Oops. And we'll probably lose a few tubers just because we're trying to get and maneuver these around. Okay, we're going to do some damage here. For some reason the microphone turned off, so whatever I've been telling you over the last I don't know how long hasn't been recording. So let's snip these off. I might try and strike some of these from cuttings. I've never done dahlias from cuttings, and we'll see how we go. Alright, I'm going to take this one up and wash it off as well. Let's see how many pieces we're going to pull out of this thing. Oh boy. Disconnected my mic because it keeps turning off. Yeah, 2 big holes here. I'm going to try and plant the dahlias a little bit deeper than usual so they don't fall over. Let's go do the other 3. I just have to be careful here because I planted the onions. I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3. Okay, that is it for the day. I was only going to come in and harvest some chocos this morning, but got carried away. Got my potatoes planted, got onions planted, got asparagus planted. All the chocos are harvested. I also divided a whole bunch of dahlias and replanted them, and got some strawberries into the ground. Dug up a few more sweet potatoes and strawberries, but we got a fair bit done today. So my plan, I'm thinking, because I've got this passion fruit issue, is to keep things relatively low on this side and on that side, and keeping it just to a certain type of vegetable, so that way when the suckers are coming through I can easily see them. This area here is permanent. Our chilies, this is our chili area, they are overwintered, they won't get pulled out. I just need to be able to keep an eye on them come come spring, and I just have to be strategic because my zinnias, when they flower, they're going to grow so high, which means that whatever grows in here afterwards, I'm not even going to be able to see them. So I need to be able to keep things relatively low, and I'm thinking the other side's got the potatoes and the garlic. I'll put some onion over into that garden bed that we just did, and I'm thinking, and there's some rocket, I may just do some lettuce in that one and a whole bunch of carrots in this one. Clean this out, and probably whack some ground cover in here, maybe some lettuce as well. I've got a lot of wild lettuce growing in here, so this is going to be interesting. That wild lettuce is going to grow about this tall, so and I don't want to pull it out because it's medicinal, and we will be definitely harvesting it. So all the seeds that I've got all through the garden are from 1 or 2 that were over the other side that have gone to seed, and they're in this garden, and they're in that garden, they're in the pathways, they're in that garden, which is not a problem. People are going to say it's a weed. We don't know what wild lettuce is good for, Google it. So we're going to come back and do this side, tidy up there, tidy up in here, and at some point we've got to deal with the whole gourd situation and the choco situation. That's going to just get trimmed back at the end of, in the next couple of months. Once the choco plant has stopped flowering, we will pull all that down, and it will come back again next year. That's it. We have done quite a bit of work today, and we will see you on the next video. Bye for now.